And I mentioned this yesterday. How is it that every voice we had with just basic civil rights and just basic anything in the 1960s, you died. They killed your ass. Then all of a sudden we can come out in the 1990s and late 80s and just talk stuff and nobody dies. And that is because we understand that even the stuff that we got from ASCAT was only the stuff that the white boy allowed us to even go in and research and say we uncovered our shit. You understand where I'm coming from? So we're talking about being victims of library colonization. So Dr. Ben and John Henry Clark did great work. Nobody can deny that. But for some reason, we started calling them our illustrious scholars. First of all, you don't never let nobody call you no scholar or no kind of shit like that, because knowledge is what? Infinite. You see what I'm saying? And Dr. Ben had a lot of problems with that and all, because he would start organizations and then he would just leave. Next thing you know, he'd be left with an organization without a leader. He was good for that, which was good, because Dr. Ben was trying to tell them, hey, fuck it, we all students. And we supposed to be looking at this thing as students. Otherwise, go join a leader group. We got plenty of leaders groups, you know what I'm saying, where a person says something and all and say that you shouldn't be reading other stuff. Now, it's good. It's funny because that's what you call it is doing now. Raul Neffa. Big problem with that down in Atlanta. Telling the people they shouldn't read certain books. You know what I'm saying? Let me draw the conclusion. You know, so these are problems, and this age-old problems that we have is called the crisis of the Negro intellectual. I'm not talking about Harold Cruz, but I'm saying there is a crisis of the Negro intellectual, but there's a crisis in intellectualism also. The same crisis in intellectualism is the same thing that Crawley, the Theosophical Society, G.R.S. Mead, and a group of white people at the turn of the century was battling the same way. Whereas somebody's saying, this is the way shit's supposed to be presented. And as soon as you put a label on anything, you already limit the amount of energy or limit the capacity of how much you can rise by putting a limit on some stuff.